I promised a few people that I would explain how I use this oven as a prover. I need to set it back up. I've got the equipment here. This is the heating mat that I use, and this connects to a controller that has cooling and the heating, but I don't use the cooling part. And I'll set the temperature because everyone that's watched my videos will know that I like to use 25 degrees when I set my temperature, when I set my ingredients. Like I've got my starter in there at 25 and the ingredients for tomorrow's mix. So I'll show you how I do this. I always use this oven because I don't use it. You could put it in here too. You could put the mat in. I would suggest maybe putting a wire on top, just so it's not touching the bulk ferment. I like to use this oven because it's got a few levels. And what I do is, I'll put the mat in here. So that's the heating mat. So I'll put the controller, I have a coat hanger, which is attached. So I'll stick that in there. And then I'll run this up and around behind here. This is the thermometer, like the temp. This is what checks. This is the probe, sorry. This is what detects the temperature in there. So I'll run that up through here. This is how I usually do it. Want it in the middle somewhere. So I'll put it in there. And like I said, I've got the mat just below where all the ingredients are. So even when I do the bulk fermentation, I'll put it in there like that. So then I'll plug the heating mat into the heating power point, and I'll stick that behind there. And this is the power for the ink bird itself. And there we go. That sensor is detecting that it's 19 degrees. I like to kind of put the sensor in the vent, so it's kind of hanging up there. So yeah, so now it's on 19 out of 25. I've got it set for 25. I want everything to be at 25 degrees. This is actually peaked, so I'm going to feed this. And then tomorrow I'll be doing a mix. And that's it. I'm pretty lucky because this is like a rubber, so the cables don't get squashed. And that's how I keep my temperature of my ingredients and my bulk fermentation all at 25, especially when the room's at 16 degrees. In summer, I don't use it because obviously it's too hot. I don't have any way to cool it down. So this is more of a winter thing. And setting the temperature is pretty easy. You just got to click set, and then you can put it up and down to what you want. You can put it down to 24 or up to 26. There's an app as well that you can use that makes it easier, and it has a few settings. I use the app sometimes. I don't use it that much. I mostly use just the buttons on the front of the device here. But yeah, it's a pretty good little system. Now I should say, if you're going to use an oven that's plugged in, I'd be very careful. Make sure you check it when you turn it back on. You don't want to have the heating mat in here and then turned on. It could cause a fire. So this is why I always use an oven I'm not using. Another way is you can use a bucket upside down, put the heating mat underneath. You could put whatever your starter or your bulk ferment in there, and then just for a little bit of extra warmth, put a towel over, and that will keep it nice and warm too. It's not as good as an oven which is insulated, but in winter you got to do what you got to do to keep the dough warm. So I am working on a video that's doing a mix at 80% hydration. I should have that released soon. You know me, I like to put all the pop-ups and information in it, so it takes a bit of editing time. And I'm also going to be working on a stand mixer sourdough video. I've got a focaccia one coming. So I've got a few videos that are coming down the pipeline, and they should be released soon.